She had closed billion-dollar deals across 3 continents. But on that Tuesday morning, Sarah Chen, CEO of Tech Vista Industries, couldn't buy a simple cup of coffee. Her card declined. Once, twice, 3 times. That's when a man in paint-stained jeans stepped forward with a crumpled $5 bill, not knowing that by day's end, both their lives would be forever changed. Sarah Chen's alarm didn't go off. Her phone had died overnight, something that never happened to a woman who controlled every detail. But lately the details were slipping through her fingers. She rushed through her morning, throwing on the first suit she grabbed. The board meeting was in 2 hours, and whispers of a hostile takeover were getting louder. At 42, she'd spent 15 years building Tech Vista from a garage startup to a $3 billion tech giant. She wasn't about to lose it now. The coffee shop on Fifth Avenue was her ritual. Large Americano, extra shot. She didn't notice the small sign by the register. Card reader issues. Cash preferred today. Large Americano, extra shot, she said, already pulling out her credit card. The machine beeped. Declined. That's strange, Sarah muttered, handing over another card. Declined again. She tried her corporate card. Declined. Behind her, someone coughed impatiently. Sarah's face flushed. I don't understand. These all worked yesterday. Do you have cash? The barista asked gently. Sarah opened her wallet. Empty. She never carried cash. People were staring now. The CEO of a billion-dollar company couldn't pay for a $4 coffee. I've got it. The voice came from behind her. Deep, quiet, certain. A man in his mid-30s, wearing faded jeans with paint stains and a flannel shirt, held out a crumpled $5 bill. His hands were rough from hard work, but his dark eyes held unexpected kindness. Really, it's not necessary, Sarah began. It's just coffee, he said simply. We've all been there. But she hadn't been there. Not in years. Not since she was 27, scraping together change for ramen while coding at 3 in the morning. Thank you, Sarah managed. Can I get your name? I'll pay you back. He smiled warmly. It's just coffee, but I'm Marcus. Marcus Rodriguez, and you don't need to pay me back. I'm Sarah, Marcus ordered next. Medium coffee, black, and a hot chocolate with extra marshmallows to go. The hot chocolate, that's sweet, Sarah said. His expression softened. It's for my daughter Emma. She's 7. I'm picking her up from school later, and she always asks if I brought her something special. Before Sarah could respond, her backup phone buzzed. 6 missed calls from her assistant. 12 texts. Her stomach dropped. I have to go, she said abruptly. Thank you again, Marcus. She dialed her office, and her assistant answered immediately. Sarah, thank God. The board meeting has been moved up. They're here now, and Stephen called an emergency session. He's making a motion to remove you as CEO. The sidewalk tilted. Stephen Marsh, her former mentor, largest investor, and now her greatest threat. On what grounds? Mismanagement of funds, unauthorized transfers. Sarah, they're saying you've been embezzling. Your accounts have been frozen, all of them. The FBI is involved. Sarah grabbed a streetlight for support. I'm coming now. She ran the 10-minute walk in 6, her heart pounding. This couldn't be happening. She'd built everything by the book. Security stopped her at her building entrance. I'm sorry, Miss Chen. Robert, the guard she'd greeted for 5 years, wouldn't meet her eyes. I have orders not to let you in. Your access has been revoked. This is my company. I'm just following orders. Sarah stood there, her name etched in steel above the entrance, unable to get inside. Employees streamed past, some glancing away, others staring. Her phone rang, unknown number. Ms. Chen, this is Agent Morrison with the FBI. We need you to come in for questioning. You have the right to an attorney. Sarah hung up, hands shaking. This was a nightmare. She walked without destination for hours. When she looked up, she was in an unfamiliar neighborhood. Modest houses, a small park. She sat on a bench, her expensive suit rumpled. That's when she saw him again. Marcus crouched beside a little girl with curly hair and ponytails wearing a purple backpack. She was crying. Sarah watched as Marcus pulled his daughter into a tight hug, his face a portrait of heartbreak. The hot chocolate sat beside them, forgotten. The kids said Mommy's never coming back, Emma sobbed. They said she left because she didn't love us. Marcus's face crumpled before he composed himself. Emma, baby, your mom loved you more than anything. She got sick, remember? Her brain got sick. She didn't leave because she wanted to. She would have stayed forever if she could have. I miss her, Emma whispered. I know, sweetheart. I miss her too. Every single day. Sarah felt tears streaming down her face. This man who'd shown her kindness was raising a daughter alone, nursing a broken heart, yet he'd still stop to help a stranger. What had she been doing? Building empires, making money. And in one morning it was all taken. She had no one to call, no shoulder to cry on. She'd sacrificed every meaningful relationship for success. Marcus looked up, their eyes meeting. Recognition flashed across his face, then concern. He stood with Emma and walked over. Sarah, are you okay? She tried to say she was fine, but what came out was a broken sob. Years of held-back grief poured out. Marcus sat beside her, Emma clutching his hand. He didn't ask questions or try to fix anything. He just sat there and let her fall apart. Sarah woke on an unfamiliar couch covered with a soft blanket. Panic seized her before memory returned. The park, Marcus, the crying. Hey, take it easy. Marcus appeared with a steaming mug. You passed out. I couldn't leave you there. Emma's doing homework. How are you feeling? Sarah looked around the small living room. Modest but warm. Crayon drawings on walls, photos everywhere of Marcus, Emma, and a beautiful woman with kind eyes. I'm sorry, Sarah said. You don't need to explain. But if you want to talk, I'm a good listener. Maybe because he was a stranger who'd already seen her lowest, Sarah told him everything. Tech Vista, the accusations. Stephen Marsh, the frozen accounts, the FBI. 15 years building something from nothing, waking up as a CEO and going to bed as an accused criminal. Marcus listened quietly. When she finished, he spoke. I'm a contractor. Before Emma's mom got sick, I worked for a big construction company. Good money, benefits. But when Rachel's cancer returned, I needed flexibility. So I went out on my own. Took odd jobs, smaller projects. I lost almost everything. Our savings went to medical bills. I had to sell our house. He paused. Some days I don't know how I'll pay for Emma's school supplies. Marcus, but when everything falls apart, you find out what's actually real. The big house, the prestigious job, all temporary. But Emma? Being there for Rachel's last days, holding her hand? That's real. That can't be taken away. Emma appeared in the doorway. Daddy, is the lady okay? She's doing better, Misha. Come say hi. Emma approached shyly. I'm Emma. Are you sad because someone you love died too? Sarah looked at the wise 7-year-old. I'm sad because I lost something I worked very hard for. Emma climbed onto the couch. When Mommy died, I thought I couldn't be happy ever again. But Daddy said we have to find new happy things. We can't have the same happy we had before, but we can find a different kind. She pulled out a worn stuffed rabbit. Mommy gave me Mr. Hoppy. Sometimes when I'm really sad, I hug him and remember her hugs. It still hurts, but it also feels like she's still here a little bit. Sarah's throat closed. This child understood loss more deeply than she'd ever allowed herself to. Her phone buzzed. Julia, her assistant. Sarah, where are you? I've been worried. I'm safe. Julia, do you think I did what they're accusing me of? A pause. Never. I've worked for you 8 years. I've seen every decision. You're not capable of that deception. And others believe you too. We're digging into this. Something's not right. The timestamps don't match. IP addresses are wrong. Someone set you up. Hope flickered. Steven. That's what I'm thinking. He tried to buy you out last year. This could be his way of forcing the sale. But we need proof. Sarah's mind sharpened. She'd built her company by being smarter and working harder. I need access to my files. Your access is revoked. But yours isn't. Can you get to my office? I'm here now. Download everything from my private server. There's a backup drive in the bottom drawer of my desk, behind the false panel. And Julia, be careful. She hung up and turned to Marcus. I'm going to fight. Where will you go? Marcus asked. Your accounts are frozen. Do you have cash for a hotel? Sarah opened her mouth, then closed it. She had nothing. The couch is comfortable, Marcus said. Emma and I don't mind the company. You look like you could use a friend. I don't have friends, Sarah admitted. I have business associates, employees, networking contacts, but friends who'd let me sleep on their couch? No. Well, now you have one, Marcus said. Also, I could use advice on Emma's college fund. From her room, Emma called, Can Sarah stay for dinner? I want to show her my rock collection. Sarah laughed for the first time that day. I would love to see your rock collection. Dinner was spaghetti with jarred sauce and garlic bread. They ate at a small table with mismatched chairs, Emma chattering about school and her favorite rocks. It was the most ordinary meal Sarah had had in years. No business discussions, no networking, just sharing pasta and conversation. After dinner, Sarah's phone rang. Julia. I got the files. Sarah, I found deleted emails from Steven to someone named David Winters. They're planning everything, fake transfers, forged signatures. Winters is an IT specialist who worked for us until 3 months ago. Steven hired him to hack the system. Sarah's pulse raced. Can we prove it? The metadata is all here. IP addresses trace back to Steven's home network. This is everything we need. Send it to my lawyer and the FBI. Already done. Agent Morrison called. They're bringing Steven in tomorrow. Your accounts should be unfrozen within 72 hours. Relief flooded through Sarah. Thank you, Julia. When she looked up, Marcus was watching. Good news? The best. They found proof I'm innocent. It's over. What happens when your accounts unfreeze? When you get your company back? It was a fair question. Sarah could feel the pull of her old life. But she also felt Emma's small hand in hers during dinner, the warmth of being in a home built on love. I don't know, she admitted, but I think I need to figure out who I want to be now. Emma emerged in princess pajamas. Sarah, will you read me a bedtime story? I would be honored. After Emma fell asleep, Sarah and Marcus sat in comfortable silence. Rachel used to say the universe breaks us open so light can get in, Marcus said. When she was diagnosed the second time, I thought that was cruel. But after she died, I started to understand. The breaking opened me up to appreciate small moments with Emma. It taught me what love really means. Not easy love when everything's perfect, but love that holds on through the impossible. I think I've been broken open today, Sarah said quietly. Marcus smiled. Give it time. The light always finds a way. 3 months later, Sarah stood before her company's board. I'm resigning as CEO of Tech Vista Industries. Stunned silence. Julia Martinez will be my successor. She has the vision and values to lead this company. I'll stay on the board in a reduced capacity. She had sold her penthouse and bought a modest house 3 blocks from Marcus and Emma. She'd started a foundation providing scholarships for children who'd lost parents. Twice a week, she taught coding at the community center, working with kids who reminded her of her younger self. Marcus's business had grown. Emma was thriving in therapy, and Sarah was learning that success wasn't measured in stock prices, but in whether you could look in the mirror and like the person looking back. On Sunday mornings, they had a ritual. Sarah went to the coffee shop and ordered 3 drinks. Large Americano for her. Medium black coffee for Marcus. hot chocolate with extra marshmallows for Emma. She always paid in cash, carrying a $5 bill she never spent, a reminder of the morning her life fell apart and a stranger showed her what mattered. One Sunday, a young woman's card declined repeatedly. The woman flushed with embarrassment. Sarah stepped forward with a $5 bill. "I've got it. We've all been there." The woman looked grateful. "Thank you. Can I get your name? I'll pay you back." Sarah smiled. "It's just coffee, but I'm Sarah, and you don't need to pay me back." Outside, Marcus and Emma waited on the bench where it all began. Emma ran to her, ponytails bouncing. "Did you get my marshmallows?" "Extra marshmallows. Would I ever forget?" Marcus took his coffee, fingers brushing hers. 3 months of taking things slow, both healing, both building something new from broken pieces. "Thank you," Sarah said softly, "for everything." Marcus understood. "Thank you," he replied. They walked through the park, Emma skipping ahead. The morning sun filtered through trees, and Sarah felt something she hadn't felt in 15 years. Peace. Her phone buzzed. Julia. "Board approved the Scholarship Foundation budget. We're going to change a lot of lives." Sarah smiled and put her phone away. Right now, Emma was explaining the difference between rocks with professorial seriousness. Marcus was listening like it was the most fascinating lecture ever, and Sarah was learning that this ordinary, beautiful moment was what success actually looked like. Sometimes you had to lose everything to find what mattered. Sometimes a declined credit card was the first step toward a richer life. And sometimes the stranger who bought you coffee became the person who taught you how to be human again. Sarah had thought the worst day of her life was losing her company and reputation. She'd been wrong. It wasn't the worst day. It was the first day of the life she was meant to live. One measured not in achievements, but in marshmallows, rock collections, and the quiet joy of being seen, known, and loved for.